Hello friends, it's Simone, your favorite neighborhood nerd. Today I want to talk about the Pilot Parallel pens. I got two new ones in my recent Happy Mail from Van Ness, which I can highly recommend to check out. I have a code in the description box down below. I think their prices for the Pilot Parallels are quite reasonable. When I look on Amazon, they're usually around like 17 or 18. So this is a really good price. Don't buy your Pilot Parallels on Amazon. Check out your fountain pen stores and see if they have them. They're usually better priced there. Okay, quick shout out. Today I want to talk about what is the Pilot Parallel pen? What am I using it for? Show you some examples of what I did recently. I want to show you where the nib unit, and now I don't have one, this thing up here, the whole section, not nib unit, the whole section, this piece fits. I want to show you where I have found the unit, just the piece of the nib, fits into other pens, and I want to fill some pens that I want to try out. So I've been quite obsessed with the Pilot Parallel pens recently, so much so that I went on AliExpress and bought a ton of Moonman Wancai mini pens. But I've also, this is my small inked collection right now, but I want to step up my game. So let's start. The Pilot Parallel pen is a pen that is advertised to be used as a calligraphy pen. It shows you that it can write two different ways. You can write with the, well, this is a very small one. This is the 1.5 millimeter one. You can write with the long edge right here. This would be kind of like a step nib, but you can also write with the point, and then you would get a smaller line. Let's open this one up and look at the booklet, because I think you can clearly see what it can do and what it cannot. I have found that I get more use out of my Pilot Parallel pens than I ever thought before. So it comes with a cleaning tool. Let's dump all of this out and take the booklet. All right, so it comes with this cleaning tool that you can put right here. Let me show you. And then you can flush your Pilot Parallel. This actually also fits on all the other Pilot pens. And if you don't have anything else to clean your Pilot pens, this is a really good tool to use. It comes with two cartridges. I believe this one is black and this one is red. There is an agitator in here, a little metal ball. I have rinsed those and used them in other Pilot Parallel pens. And it comes with this plastic sheet that you can use to stick in between these two metal plates that make up this nib in order to clean the pen and make it flow better. So if you look at the instructions and care guide, there is a lot of helpful stuff. It shows you the two different ways that you can write with the pen, one with the flat side, one with the pointy side. It shows you how you could use it to mix two different colors. It shows you some troubleshooting on what happens if your line isn't even. And then it shows you what to practice and how to actually, use this pen. I and there are some alphabets that you could do. It shows you how you should hold your nib at what angle right here. I'm really basic, so I just use it to write in block letters like this up here. And I'm going to show you some of the examples that I have written so far. Let me quickly think where I can show them to you. When I started to set up my fountain pen log for 2025, this is written with a Pilot Parallel, so the ink and fountain pen log. This is written with a Pilot Parallel here. This is written with the same Pilot Parallel that I used here. And for me, the most important thing is to adjust the size of my writing to the size of the nib. I'll show you one that I have written with the here with the Pilot Parallel with the 6mm nib, which is right here. So this is about 2 centimeters in height. And it's in here, I just hold my pen like so and go very slow, and I do not change the angle of the nib. I try to have all of this metal have contact with the paper. So I'm going to show you some writing examples later on, but I want to show you what I think is so fun about the Pilot Parallel. So when you use the Pilot Parallel in this, it's an unwieldy desk pen. It's not really pretty at all. Well, the fun thing that I did with this one is I did not use a cartridge. I just put my ink in here, added some silicone grease here, screwed it on, and now I'm using this, as you can see, eyedropper. I have not had any leaks so far, and I just dumped most of the sample that I have had left of this ink into here, and now I'm just going to use it until it's run out. And then I clean it and ink it up with something else. Now, if you wanted to use a different pen, maybe fit it into your pen case, I have found, or some of my people in my community have found, that there are alternative pens where you can use this whole grip section here. So you unscrew it and you just use this. And then you can take, I have tried it with both of my Benu Euphorias and it works really well. So you unscrew this, take off the section. And what I'm trying to do most of the time is just compare the depth of the section with the original one to see if the cap will still fit. So I'm starting here, going down here, and I can see that if I cap the pen, it will fit because this section is longer. And then I take it and screw it onto the pen body. Now for this one, I would use an ink cartridge or a converter with this. So I screw it in, I can put this here, and then I can use my Benu Euphoria with the Pilot Parallel grip section. So this works on the Benu Euphoria. This is a model from 2023. This is the Benu Talisman in Dark Unicorn. This is a Gourmet Pens exclusive. Same thing. Once it's screwed on, if it fits, it should fit because all of the threading on these pens are the same. Well, that's interesting. So on the Benu Euphoria, it screws on really easily. With this one, it doesn't. So if you are planning to do this permanently, I would just recommend you just test it out. So it doesn't fit on the Talisman, which is super interesting because I can show you one other thing. This grip section fits on here. Isn't this weird? But yeah, so this has to be decided on a case-by-case basis, but it definitely is a fun thing to try out and see if you can use one of those sections on your Bennu fountain pens. Another thing I have heard from various different people on my Discord server is that they just tried some of the maker pens. I'm not sure if it fits on this one. This is the only one I have currently here in my possession. This is a Walltown Watts and I would just, so this one is too big as well. I feel like I'm going to ruin the threads if I screw this in, but I think maybe Zodiac Pen Company might fit. I will ask my friends in my Discord and put a list of pens that have been tried in the description box down below, so you can check if you have those and try it out, or you can just take your maker pens and carefully try it. But one pen that is definitely fits and is super cheap is the Pilot Sign pen. That is a felt tipped pen that comes with an ink cartridge, and I have heard, and it was told to me, but this one doesn't seem to fit right here as well. Well, that's odd. Do I have any more sections? No, I can't unscrew this one. So I would not do this. I have heard several people say that the Pilot Sign pen works. Not for me right now, but again, I wanted to show you so that you could, if you had one of those in your collection, try it out. I personally would not go out and buy this or a maker pen just to use a Pilot Parallel section on them. I'm going to show you what I would go and do and what I actually did. So those are the pens that are already in my collection. I've tried them out. Some of them work, some of them don't. I did, however, go and purchase, now I'm looking for, an Opus 88 Demonstrator, because I know that I can unscrew the nib unit and put just the single unit into the grip section here. I also have heard and tried, because it's super affordable to try it out, that the Wancai Mini works the exact same way. And I have heard, but not tried yet, so that's something that I want to do in this video, that the Jinhao 9019 works as well. So for the Opus 88, you don't even really have to unscrew the section from the body, but it just, and then you hold the nib like this, and then you turn the section. Do not turn the nib unit, turn the section. There is a O-ring here that I have heard you're supposed to take out. Now I'm trying this with, I just saw something that I could use for it, but I don't know where it is. So I'm gonna try and see if my scissors work. But I'm going to be really careful because I don't want to damage this O-ring. Nope, I cannot come from the back, but it's already moving a little. So just going to slowly get this out here. So here is the O-ring. I usually just put this whole thing with the nib unit into a sample vial holder, or not a sample vial holder, a sample vial like this, so that none of this gets lost and I can retrieve it later when I want to use the nib with the pen. Then I have already freed several of my nib units from the section, but it's really easy. You just, again, hold it like this, take this and pull out. They're just friction fit and they come out really easily. And then you take the section from the Opus 88 and push it back all the way. And that's it. Now you have an Opus 88 with a Pilot Parallel nib unit. This holds a lot of ink and is really good to use. It has a very comfortable section. It's a full-size fountain pen. It is around $140. So if that's out of your budget or you don't want to spend that much money on a play pen, then I have something else for you. So this one, and let me show you this. So this is the Jinhao 1919. I have already removed all the things from here. And what I was going to show you is that this is the diameter of the feed and nib of this pen. So I was wondering how that would fit. So see how bulky this is? So this obviously does not fit into here. When I remove the housing of these feed and nib, then that's not going to work. What is going to work is leaving this in and just pulling the nib and feed out, and then putting the Pilot Parallel nib unit right in here. And this, I have tried it before and I'm super scared, is, let me just try it with a, so it seems like this is not going to come out easily. I hope I'm not going to break it. Maybe I should have tried this before. Let's hold, please. So this might be a permanent marriage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tiniest one, because it might be my least favorite one of them, because I can get the same line width with a 1.5 stub nib. However, a 1.5 stub nib might be cheaper, more expensive than this. Oh, and see, maybe it's also because of the manufacturing, cat alarm, that some are a little bit, some have more or less leeway, you know, discrepancies, minor discrepancies that still make the pen work. So if I push this in here, then this is how it looks like. I have not tried this yet. What concerns me about this is that I have this sticking here and basically touching this section here, and I don't know how that works with the flow. However, it would fit, and so that's why I'm here today. I want to try it out, and I want to see how it's going to work with a Pilot Parallel nib. So then I'm just going to screw this nib unit back in here and attach the converter. I'm going to put some ink in here later on, and then we can try it out and see what it looks like when it's inked. So this is one way of putting a Pilot Parallel on a pen. It looks odd to me. And I don't think that this is my preferred way of changing it out. My preferred way, I'm going to show you right now. Let me remove those sweaty things. I actually went on AliExpress. Jelly, you're kind of in the way here, friend. And I ordered 10, yeah, call me crazy, 10 Wancai minis. They were $4.50-ish, with the intention to, over time, acquire enough Pilot Parallel nib units to transform all of those into Pilot Parallel fun pens. I already started these two. After I tried this is a gift from my friend Wendy Sue. I realized, you know what? I think I like the transparent more, because I can see what the nib unit is on top here, and I can also see the color of the ink. Both of those I cannot really discern when I'm looking at this one, even though I think this is so pretty because it's sparkly and fun. But for convenience purposes, I think it would be super fun to have a ton of transparent Wancai minis with Pilot Parallel nib units on them. So this is what I'm going to do. Now, with the 9019, we pulled the nib and feed out of the nib unit, the housing, and stuffed this section into the housing of the nib unit, this black piece, or here, this transparent piece. With the Wancai Mini, what you want to do is you want to unscrew this whole thing. It is a screw-in nib unit, so you just screw and take it all out, and then you have about the same diameter as you would with the 1919. So then you just push this in, and maybe this is also going to be a permanent marriage, but I'm just gonna try and see what happens, right? That's what we're here for. So then all of this is going to be stuck here. Let me compare this to here. So I believe that possibly because of production, you know, those margins that make a pen usable, even if it's just slightly different, this is just not a good nib unit to use. But I'm just gonna leave it like this and see what's going to happen. And maybe at some point I can stuff it in even further. But you can see here that it touches the housing. So there's that. We're gonna fill this. Oh, that's not the right thing. Nope, this one. How about that? So then we can screw this on here. And I need to figure out what inks I want to put in here. Oh, this is, because it sticks out, this is almost touching the top. Not quite, but that's something that I need to be careful with. Now, because I think I'm not wasting a lot of money when this happens. Like, this is a $4.50 pen. This was $12. So in total, this whole thing cost me less than 20 bucks. So if something is not going to work out as I had hoped, I'm not going to stress it. I'm just going to, maybe I'll yank it out. Maybe I'll file it down a bit. Maybe I should do that. Do you want to watch that? I don't know. I'm going to try the other one first and then decide whether I want to work on that and show you how I do it. Just experiment, because as I said, I'm not going to waste a huge ton of money on all of those experiments, and they're fun. And when they work out, I can't wait to play with all of this. So let me remove the next one. Need to unpack this Pilot Parallel first. So I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, I'm back. I have the green nib unit here, and I'm gonna try this. This looks like it's gonna go in better than the other one. See, it's a little deeper, but not as deep as the other one. Now I'm wondering if maybe possibly the gloves should come back. I got this tip from, who did I get this tip from? Esty. When I wasn't able to unscrew the nib unit from one of their Esties, they told me to try and see if I can get it done with a better grip and gloves. So, yep, totally. Now this is in as far as I would like and prefer it. So let's try this one. No, can I? What if I break it? That would be so annoying. Would I do this with a pen that costs more than $25? Probably not. I need tweezers, I think. Okay, I'll be back. Let me hold, please. I'm back. I brought, not tweezers, these ones, pliers. And I also brought this piece of leather that I just found yesterday. And I remembered because I think maybe I can get a better grip and especially not break or damage the nib. So what I'm going to do is put this around here like so, and then maybe this one, oh no, then take this and then yank. There we go. So here is, this is where it, wow, I didn't even show you. You can see right here where it touched and got stuck out here. So what I'm thinking is maybe if I am using some tools, and the tools that I have in mind are this. Yep. What if when I use this, does it make it smaller? Do I need bigger grit paper for this? Possibly. This is too, maybe this one. So this is all, I have no clue if this is going to work or not, obviously. So you guys can watch me fail or win. I don't know. What if I have an idea. Do not do this if you're not willing to let one of your pieces go. So what if I shaved off a tiny bit of here? Probably better with a kitchen knife because I can wield that more easily. Okay. So I'm just going around and taking off a tiny sliver of the plastic. And then I think I'm going back to my file. I'm just making it smooth again. Okay. So I'm just going to use this side now to maybe even get it better. Okay, so let's see what happens. Where's the pen? Ha-ha! Okay, this works. I don't know if it's going to write, but we will see. I do have one more nib that I received for my birthday on last year. This is a specifically ground Pilot Parallel nib. It's called Radius. It was purchased at Neal Books is the website. But I have not had good experiences with this nib yet. So what I want to do is see if I can modify this even more so that it works for the way that I write. It was supposed to be easier to write with it, but I find it actually harder to make the ink flow when I write. So let's ink pens. I have 3 that I want to ink. Here's the caps. And then when we're done with that, we'll write. I will pause and find some ink. So I have picked some inks. I want to put the Winter Night from the Dominant Industry Pearl series into this 1.5 stub nib over here. It's a shimmer ink, that's why it's called Pearl. I want to put Diamine Masquerade from the 2023 Diamine ink vent, which I don't have a lot of ink left, into this one, the 3.8 millimeter nib. And then I want to put Troublemaker, Petrichor in the 3.0 millimeter. This is a light, quite dry ink that is chroma shading, and I want to see what it looks like in a wide, fat nib. Alrighty, let's start with Dominant Industry Winter Night. I'm going to shake this up so that I'm getting a lot of shimmer into the syringe. I'm going to fill the converter with an ink syringe, or not ink syringe, with a syringe that I use as an ink syringe. And what I'm going to do is just fill up this baby. All the way. Ooh, that's a lot. So then I'm going to just expel the rest back into the bottle, which, if you're very concerned about your inks being contaminated, this is probably something that you shouldn't do. You should only take as much as you need. So let's try and see. I'm just going to prime this and see what happens. Oh, now I can see ink up here, so I'm just going to pull this back. I'm going to take the body of the pen, and what we're going to do is just put it head down into my pen cup so that we can see, oh, there's ink in here. Where does this come from? Oh, well, doesn't matter. So that it can write when we're ready to try it out. Alrighty, this one is done. Next one, what did I want to put in here? The Petrichor. So I'm using this Inkapet octopus for filling these pens. I'm just going to put the pen body in here. Then I'm using an eyedropper, and I have a ton. Every Moonman Wancai mini comes with one of these syringes. And as mentioned earlier, I'm just going to fill this baby up and use it. This is how I plan on using lots of inks that maybe don't work for me in pens, or that I just want to play with. I want to acquire a couple more until I'm done with all of my 10 Wancai minis, and then I just want to use them all and play with them and get them, fill them up, clean them and fill them with something else. This one is done, so I'm going to use this one. Maybe I should close the bottle first. I'll put this to the side, and then Masquerade needs to be shaken up again. Well, I shouldn't have done that before. Alrighty, here we go. No, let's do this differently. Do this again. And then draw up some ink. I'm holding this a little so that I can get more ink into the syringe. This one is almost done. I am really, because I just, found those Wancai minis, I'm so tempted to buy another Inkvent calendar so I can, use those samples with these pens. But then I'm also thinking, when I see an ink with a shimmer or stuff like that, I could just go and buy a sample instead of even these 12 milliliters are too much for these pens, but a 3 or 4 millimeter sample would be awesome in this. And then I could use it, have it for a while, because let's be honest, I'm not gonna write this dry just this second. And then I can, you know, this is how I could use all of those weird ink samples that I don't really want to use in fountain pens, but that I still find super fascinating. All right, let's pull out the ink journal and start playing. I need a pencil board and I need, no, that's okay, that's enough. That's all I need. I'm gonna use this one. And I'm going to show you how I write with this. So I'm going to agitate this pen just a little bit so I can move that shimmer and we can see it. Sometimes when the shimmer ink clogs, I really like using those to get it flowing again, and it works every time. So here you go. Let's zoom in a little. So I'm holding this just like that. Totally flat to the page, and then I'm starting here, going down, and I'm really, as you can see, I am going very slow. P. Let's write small. Pi. Let. And for me, the thing is to go slow and hold it just like that and form my letters like this. So pilot. Not a lot of shimmer in this right now, but that's okay. But this is the, and then let me show you, 60 millimeters. You could write with this for quite a long time, actually. So let me screw this shut. I have 2 of those, just in case you're wondering, because this piston knob broke off. And so Opus 88 replaced this for me. I reached out and asked if I could just buy the barrel, but they sent me a whole new pen. So I'm going to swap this out when I'm done with this ink. Or if this is not going to be a problem, I might just use both. Can I do that? Okay, pilot. Let's see, what else do I have? Let's try this one, because this one might actually work already. Yeah. So this is the 1.5 millimeter. Let's write pilot parallels up here. And this one, of course, because it's smaller, does not need parallel. I have no idea how to do this. I'm just gonna, you know, play. This looks so weird. I don't care. This is what it looks like when we do this. This is probably the most usable of them all for writing. 1.5 millimeters. Isn't this cool? This is also a very first for me right now. I'm using my 2025 ink journal and I am playing in this and I don't care what it's going to look like. So this seems to work even though it sticks out and even though this thing basically touches the back. So what I'm concerned about, I can show you, maybe not. Let's see if I can put this out again. I actually also have no intention of using any of these Wancais to right with a nib. I just want them as parallel nib housing. And there is a cat again. So if I break this, it's no biggie. So here. So there we go. Imagine this is the black housing that is in this pen. Then this basically feed knob that is the same thing as this one touches the back here. And so instead of touching all or being surrounded by a lot of ink, this just gets fed the ink through this tiny, you know, what is that? Nibbin that goes into the ink here. So that's what concerned me about this. But it seems like it's not a big problem. This doesn't go in here, so I can't show you, but imagine this is in that black section like so. Seems like it's not a big problem. So if you need a big bulky pen for your Pilot Parallel play, then this is a really great option. Jinhao 90. I think this is the Dadao. And 1.5 millimeter PP. Oh my gosh. Oh. So that works. I am putting them, you know, right side up when I know that the ink flows. Here I noticed that before. So what I wouldn't do is travel with these because ink drips. However, I have seen here on this nib unit right here. Is it on here? There is maybe it's on here. I can see, you know, here is what's that called? An O-ring. Maybe you could somehow get this around here, but I don't know if that would work. Well, we could try, couldn't we? Let's write with this first, and then I'm going to clean this up and see what this is. So, in theory, what you would do is screw this on here. I'm just going to rinse the whole pen later on. So this is the Pilot Parallel 3.0. So, let's try some of the lettering from that instruction manual. Where's the other one? I'm so organized. This is such an educational organized video. I'm sure you will benefit from this a lot. So I would probably, if I were to practice, what I have noticed is it doesn't drip ink out when I'm holding it like that. So that is definitely a bonus. But I would try and just go. Okay, so when does it write? We don't know. Let's use paper towel with this. There is some. Let's zoom you out again too. And then let's use this in between here. It should work now. Maybe not. Okay, so I would, as I said earlier, I would start with practicing these downstrokes, side strokes, how does this look? How would I use this? Oh, if I wrote at this angle, of course, this is what it looks like, right? What if I hold this at a bigger angle? Then it would look like this. You could go like this and then like that. If I were to do a 0, I would just go like this. But maybe that's not, maybe that's more of an O shape than this one. Then let's try the waves. And as I said, I'm going slow, and then like the M waves, and then the upper. Okay, that works. Let's do stairs. And then you would go like this. Why though? Can you not go like this? Well, when I do the upstroke, definitely catches a little. So if you're writing with too much pressure, not the same amount of pressure, then, yep, okay, and then maybe going like this, and then nice. So how do we do this? Nib angle point is such an angle. Okay, so let's try a tiny A, lower letter A. So we're doing this, going up here, and then we're going over here, and then down and up. Okay, this is the first try. I think you can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. This is what it looks like. Cat, can you stop eating paper and plastic? Not cool. Move. There we go. This is a Wancai. Now, if I want to write like this, I need to really pay attention. 1, and so I'm going slow, as you can see. 1, Sai, cross 3.0. Nice. I love this. I also think, look at the chromo shading of this ink in this nib. Oh my god, it's so good. Let's see how much ink dripped out here. Nothing. That's interesting. Wah! There's shimmer in this. What was this? Masquerade. Okay, this is the 3.8 millimeter nib. Wow. This is not... Some of these threads are quite... Well, that's why it only costs $4.50. So I don't have to stress out about this. I can just go like this. Let's see if we need to make it work. Nope, it's already here. So let's try the same thing here. Straight line down. If I hold this at an angle, this is what it looks like. What was the other angle? 40, 30. Okay, it needs to be bolder. So the more angly you go, you can actually, yeah, you just need to make sure that the whole surface of this nib touches the paper and not like, you know, rotate it. Okay, let's try this. Downstrokes, side strokes. If you were to hold it at a 90-degree angle like I do most of the time, but I need to try and practice this, then your side strokes would basically be narrow lines. So, but let's try this again. Let's go up and down and up and down. And then a circle. Oh wow, this is not a circle. Let's try my method. I think I like my method better. Let's do waves. Do you see how much ink this puts onto the paper? Let's try an A. How does this work again? So we're going down like this, and then we're going, and then we're going down and up. Yeah, so this is, let's try this. .8. This is a test. I love writing in all caps. I also like writing like so. So as I said, you don't need to be able to write all of those letters. You could practice, that is awesome. And I think if you want a challenge and to challenge yourself, this is awesome. An awesome start to practice those letters. But you don't really have to. It still looks quite good, quite okay. Not even just quite okay. It looks really awesome, especially with, look at that shimmer that this ink puts down here. I'm going to show you what I have in here. This is another 3.0. And for me, in order to be able to appreciate, like, you know, the broad strokes, this 1.5 millimeter is okay. But where I really like, what I found I can handle and manage quite well is 2.4 up to 3.8, like this green one. So this one is another 3.8 millimeters, and this does this. And this is a sheening ink and a shimmer ink. It's Diamine All the Best from the 2021 Advent Calendar. You could go like those. Doesn't this look awesome? And then let's try this one that I have in here. This is the 2.4 millimeter. This one is, I think, if you'd ask me, and this is the only one I have, so I think I need to stock up on these ones too. This one is bigger than 1.5. It makes a little bit a bigger impact, but it's still manageable. And then you could start playing with all of those things and have a lot of fun. Isn't that just so amazing? Ugh, I love this. I think I'm going to end this video right here and say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm so happy you were here. You went with me through this. I would encourage you to play, use your inks in different ways than ways that you haven't done it before. Start playing with stuff. Go check out Aziza from Gourmet Pens if you haven't already. If you need inspiration to play, she is the most amazing player out there. I think it's so much fun watching her just fill the pages with stuff. You don't have to be as amazing. Well, you don't have to fill your pages just like her, but maybe, you can get inspired and try your own way of being inky and messy and filling pages with ink and pens. Let's see what this paper looks like on the back. Still held up quite okay. The only thing that happened was here when it didn't want to write. This is a new Hobonichi notebook, Sanzen paper. There is smudges right here. That's fine. This is what I want in my inky notebook. I'm gonna have a hard time, but I'm gonna be so happy when this is full. And then we could, you could start. This is wet now. Let's just turn it around. We could start and just use the edge here and go around the letter. Make it even bigger, make it even bolder, make it even more fun. This is so meditative. And yes, Zentangles are like that too, but this is even more free, even more flowy, brings you more out of your comfort zone most likely. And that's exactly what I need, and that's exactly what I think you need too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Until then, have fun playing with your Pilot Parallels. Don't just buy one Wancai mini on AliExpress. Buy a bunch and then slowly accumulate a huge array of Pilot Parallels to play with all of those inks that may not work in your pens or need more surface area to shine. Thank you so much. I will see you again soon. Until then, bye.